This is the garage as it appeared before I started the project. You can see it's pretty nasty. I've got not only tire marks, but various chemicals and paint splotches from before I even moved in. So we're going to have to get that off. Here I am grinding away at the floor with a diamond grinder. This is probably not good enough. So even though I do grind all around the garage, there's still too much of a surface here that I need to break up a little bit. And so even though I did grind the entire garage, and there you can see me blowing the dust out, I still used an acid etch after this before I did the project. Oh, my neighbors ate that, I'm sure. There it is. All right, day one. Here we're mixing the primer, which is black. There's two chemicals. One is the catalyst that makes it harden. This is not as rushed as day two will be. But what you can see me doing this one morning is starting by painting around the edges. And this is some thick stuff. And then once I'm done painting around the edges, I start pouring it out and rolling. And this is the fun part. This might be the only thing that I did not mess up. This was pretty straightforward, no trouble. Covered everything I wanted to cover. Maybe there was a little more dust I could have vacuumed out of the corners, but the surface was pretty clean. This went on easily, no problems here. Day two. Now this is where I have to mix quickly. First, we're putting in the red coloring, the red pigment into the part A chemical. And this was a mess, so when I'm mixing the black one, I did it right into the big bucket. Now here I'm mixing the red in the big bucket because it was such a mess trying to do it in the can. Now here's where it gets exciting. Once I put in part B, the catalyst, I've got max 45 minutes to get all this out. So what I've done off camera is I've started to pour out the red. Now here I'm going to pour out the black amongst it. And here I squeegee all this gook around the floor. And this is the funnest part of all, except I'm slipping occasionally. Thankfully, this doesn't catch it. I'm standing on these spiked shoes that don't leave marks in the material. But I squeegee it all around, mix the colors as best I can. Unfortunately, I did a whole bunch more red towards the back and black towards the front, but it looks pretty cool. Here I'm taking a paint roller and I'm swirling it around, making sure I soak up extra material. Unfortunately, there were some parts I was not able to get. Here's how it looks after day one, all shiny. Excuse me, day two. Day three, it's the sealant. I mixed the two parts plus that powder, which is a little, it provides traction if you're walking on it. Throughout the day, I'm trying to prevent leaves and insects from landing in here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that perfectly. It was a windy fall day. As you can see, I reached through the door to try to get some of this. This is the final product. Overall, I'm pleased with how it looks, but I made some major mistakes. The biggest being that I overstirred the epoxy. This caused it to form a bubbly surface, and there are also some areas where, as it solidified, it left gaps. Lastly, when I rolled out the sealant, I left streaks in the floor and there were a couple spots uncovered.